It is indeed my great pleasure to welcome you to the 8th Annual General Meeting, and indeed the third one for the elected council members who came into office upon gazettement on February 3rd, 2023. I'm very happy to share the highlights of our 2024 report in line with the requirements of our SPMA Act 2007. The report covers the programs and activities undertaken during the period ending 31st December 2024. The Council believes that this report indeed addresses all material issues and presents a balanced and fair account of the Institute's performance for the reporting period, as well as an accurate reflection of our core strategic commitments for the short, medium, and indeed long-term institutional operations. As we look back into the year in review, we have achieved great milestones in the journey towards transforming both our profession and indeed our institute by amplifying the critical role that we as supply chain professionals and the profession at large occupies in our nation and beyond. 2025 actually is indeed a unique one for me personally. Hopefully, I'll be the only one who will be making my last AGM remarks as your chair. It's been about 6 years now, actually 5.5 years. This is the last year since 2020, when together we've realized the following milestones. And so it's indeed a pleasure for me to enumerate the milestones we've achieved together. I say we because I could never do this on my own. And I really believe yesterday when we had the strategic plan here, we were told that we have truly transformed the Institute, and now we've got visibility. We still have a lot of work to do, but it's good to celebrate, take a pause, and really take stock of what we've achieved so far. In 2020, I'm always very proud to say we operationalized KISM Board of Examinations to offer examinations and certifications for persons seeking to join the Institute through the SPMA. And this year, we also are able to make sure we say CPSPK is the only channel, the only pathway towards becoming a member of KISM. And I'm very happy to recognize the board chair, Senior Amos Ochengu is here, and Kevin Omai also seated right here in the class. So our CPSPK certifications borrows from world-class best practice and also contextualized locally. I call it local for a reason. We've basically taken the best in class, but contextualized with our operating environment to create the best-in-class standard in supply chain management profession. We have over 77 institutions accredited to train CPSPK and the KISM, and there are countries from across the region who have come actually to be part of our journey together because they have seen this really, truly Pan-African or regional food profession. Instead of going to say London or other places, we have our own regional qualification. All the way from South Sudan, Somalia, Rwanda, Burundi, including people from Angola, have come here to benchmark with us. I'm also happy to say we never left our youth behind. We launched our mentorship, internship, and coaching policy, which is aimed at supporting our upcoming professionals to know how to navigate the tumultuous terrain of supply chain management. Happy that that's taking shape and going on and continuing like that. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, it's important that I allow my council members to share and put into context the milestones they have achieved during the year 2024 and through the respective committees, because the council works through the committees, and they only come to the council after they have deliberated the issues deliberately, deeply, and they come and present that. I will now start with the chairman, who was 2024 Registration and Licensing Committee Chair, CM Moses Omondi. Karibu, CM.
In review, that is 2024, I was the chair of the Registration and Licensing Committee, and I just want to enumerate some of the recommendations we made. And in terms of quickly explaining how governance structure works in the Institute, is that if there's an issue to be developed, the management team led by the CEO will take up that, present a paper into the respective committee. then the respective committee will make recommendations and take it to the council. The council will then resolve, and then it becomes a matter that is fully cleared, either in terms of a policy or a resolution. So respective committees, their key role is to initiate a matter and then make recommendations to the council so that they are able to now, all of us collectively, take a decision into the direction that we want to follow. So I'll be able to highlight a couple of things that we did in registration committee. I was chair for 11 months, and in terms of good governance, there is a requirement to rotate those roles. So in December, I rotated that role, and the current substantive chair may have one or two things to speak about the activities in the month of December. But in the year 2024, we completed the full automation process. This was a promise that we made in our 2023 pledges to our members. The automation is now complete. You can be able to get your e-license, e-card, and everything is automated. You have your self-service portal account. We had done that process following the support of World Bank. In 2023, they requested us areas we needed support. And as a committee, we requested that we are given funding to develop a system, which we now have, amongst other things that also the Institute took on. Members who've had extensive experience in supply chain practice, but for one reason or another, they're not able to acquire certification. It's an assessment process. It is rigorous. So if you go through that process and you assessed against the 18 modules of CPSPK, if you're able to go through those processes, then you can be conferred with the CPSPK certificate through the experiential route. It's an assessment, no examination, but it's not as easy as people assume. It's commonly used in other markets in the UK, South Africa, as well as the US. So it's a affirmative action for our members. We also initiated the fellowship policy to confer outstanding members of the Institute who've given significant contribution. So this will be coming up and a call will be made this year. The current chair will talk about that.
I wish to briefly talk about the disciplinary committee, the issues that were covered between year 2023 and 2024. During that period, the Institute initiated a collaboration with the judiciary through the Kenya Judiciary Academy, and we were able to have one training of a kind in Kisumu, where the disciplinary committee was empowered and was taken through the process of disciplinary and how to write judgments, and also how to conduct hearings. During that period, the disciplinary committee was also able to develop a draft disciplinary manual. It was also able to develop an investigations manual. And then during the period, there were 44 cases that were reported to the committee. The committee was able to conduct investigations and were able to resolve the 44 matters. That was a matter from Homa Bay and one matter from Vihiga County Government. I wish to state as follows. The mandate of the committee has been bolstered by the compliance enforcement programs, as it was reported last year, and I think this was in the mainstream media. You saw our CEO speaking. I saw it in the Citizen TV and also KTN News. We were able to carry out compliance enforcement and audit across the country. And as of today, I can inform you members that the committee currently is reviewing 116 cases, disciplinary cases, of our members who have been reported through the appropriate channels. Investigations have been conducted, and next week, but one, the committee will be reviewing the investigation report and then summon the accused persons accordingly and give them a date for hearing.
Professional Standards Committee is a committee of the council, and Our mandate is to oversee various CPD programs. During the year, we conducted about 22 workshops. So we had the Women in Supply Chain Conference and the World Bank, which were introduced during that period. World Bank was a reintroduction of certain modules that were not there before, as Chairman mentioned earlier. Previously, there was a foundation, intermediate, and advanced, but then the World Bank program was reviewed and upscaled. The Health Supply Chain Conference was also one of introductions that we undertook, as well as the AI and application of modern technology in supply chain management. We held 14 webinars, that is the online trainings, and 49 in-house trainings. At least 10 from public sector, that is in-house trainings, and 7 from private sector clients. This is a great improvement, and we ask members who have even special needs we can have a program tailor-made for your institution, just to meet your program and your needs. In 2024, we had around 2,507 members who were trained of these, and we had 502 non-members. Of these, the male gender had 1,728, and the female 1,386, cutting across counties with about 670, national government, we had about 35 state corporations, and about 2,055 members from these state corporations. We had SACCOs, 13 SACCOs that were trained, and private sector, 76 institutions. So we also partnered with various stakeholders to run sector-specific training, such as the ethics and anti-corruption. As you're aware, we've also signed now an MOU with them. And later this next month, we'll be having a webinar for our members to understand what is the MOU between KISM and the EACC. It's a very collaborative MOU to ensure that our members are accorded dignity and also to build capacity on areas of ethics.
I'll very briefly talk about the strategy committee and the board of the College of Supply Chain Management, which I chaired in the year 2024. I will avoid talking about some of the issues that could have been mentioned by my colleagues, but to say that the strategy committee does the oversight on the implementation of the whole KISM strategic plan. So in the year 2024, the Institute was able to drive the process of, the committee was able to drive the process of reviewing the strategic plan, and the review involved all the stakeholders, and notably for the purpose of addressing those areas to drive the strategy 2020 up to the year 2024. And this informed the development of the new strategic plan, which is currently under implementation. And we are happy to mention that this is a plan that was launched yesterday. And we thank you all for the contributions that you could have done directly or indirectly. So the Council in its manifesto plans to initiate devolution of KISM at the regional levels in its efforts to encourage member participation in running the affairs of the Institute. And the committee was able to facilitate that whole discussion and navigated the Council's dream and made it a reality. So the Council was able to approve the regional chapter governance policy and the operationalization of the 9 proposed regional chapters, which I could name as the Coast Regional Chapter Forum, the Central Rift Regional Chapter Forum, the Lower Eastern Regional Chapter Forum, Nyanza Regional Chapter Forum, the Northern Rift, the Eastern Regional Chapter, Mount Kenya, South Rift, and the Western Regional Chapter. So the Kenya College of Supply Chain Management, which I also chaired, was able to see the operationalization of the Kanzon dream that we had harbored for quite some time. So the college now has a board which we were able to oversee input for the purposes of policy formulation. And it also has a very strong management team headed by a principal and administration, all these under the leadership of the KISM CEO. The college is strategically collaborated with prestigious institutions and bodies to provide esteemed qualifications such as the Certified Procurement and Supply Professional of Kenya. This is the one administered by KISM, the Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supplies, and the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport International, among others. So in the year 2024, the Institute finalized the process of onboarding onto the government performance contract information system under the National Treasury, and we were able to sign its first ever performance contracts. So during the reporting period, the Institute also signed MOUs with various partners, and notably the ESCC, for the purpose of collaboration in various aspects of the practice of supply chain management, and notably for them to appreciate that we are very critical stakeholders in the way we can be able to train and sensitize our members for the purpose of ensuring that we comply with the matters that drive supply chain management, especially the ethical values.
In 2024, the Council approved several policies. This one will assist us in governance. Of course, we had our HR policy, which was done earlier. We did coaching and mentorship policy that will guide our institute in mentorship. Work-life balance policy, succession planning. We have also communication policy, diversity and inclusivity policy. This one will guide us on placement of staff and other diversification issues. Risk management policy that my friend Fidel will be ensuring management is comply. Sparse award policy. I know yesterday we launched a strategic plan. This committee of corporate service ensured that the institute has internal competent staff. I know my friend, the CEO here, joined us 12 days during the last AGM. It was still new. And among others, we had had 5 directorates. So I can report today that our management and all the other departments are functional. Corporate service, standard and compliance, capacity development and accreditation, marketing and communication, HR, our audit with our baby, and finance. And inside these functional areas, Finance and Corporate Service Committee is in charge of resource mobilizations and of the council. I want to report to this AGM that during that period, we mobilized 62 million from World Bank. That's why we are talking of ERP for members management systems, and also finance, HR. HR will do our payrolls for our staff, and of course, we will not leave out our procurement. During the period, the Institute realized an income of 386 million, with a total net assets of 1.2 billion, 1.27 billion. Of course, this one excludes the current valuation of our institutes or of our KISM towers, which is going on this 2025.
Comments on the report we've had so far from the chairman and the council members? Yes.
KISM member 86885. Mine is to appreciate the work that the institute is doing in supporting the students. We've been having a lot of capacity building under the support of the institute and the kind of support that you are assisting us with, both human and financially, we really appreciate. Then, as I finalize up, I want to believe and I have faith in the institute that we are going to have our partnership areas that we can work together in order to mentor this supply chain and procurement students in Kenya. Currently, I'm the founder and the CEO of Supply Chain Student Association of Kenya. Thank you.
Many thanks, Felix. That's a big, let's appreciate him properly. Yeah, and I've challenged my CEO and the team, and we as a council, we are going to focus a whole lot more on the students category. How do we mentorship, coaching, and internship opportunities? We're raising the bar for leadership. We're raising the bar for anyone who is aspiring for office in KISM. We're raising the bar and the pedestal for us to ensure we don't accept anything less than the very best. We can do it. We as members deserve that. So I really appreciate your patience. I appreciate what you have done so far, being here, supporting us. We cannot do it without you people. So allow us to really again say thank you for everything you've done. I now want to tell you, as KK has said, we should have done this before. All AGMs, there's a gift hamper. Some of them you get an umbrella. If you are from equity, equity. You know, unapewa umbrella kwa sababu wewe ni mkulima. But we'll have a gift hamper based on your registration. Hopefully you've given us your details, and if the CEO and his team will organize a gift bag for each one of us who has been patiently here. I know some of us have come from far. We must arrange to deliver them, but CEO, right? Excellent. We'll do that. And right now we do have tea served outside there because you've been, hopefully something more than tea, a little bit more than tea. But CEO, allow me therefore, ladies and gentlemen, to really thank you again for attending this meeting, for your patience right from the beginning. I acknowledge the support again of the Secretariat, as the CEO has given that.
We really thank you. I've taken a lot of notes because I think ukiwa mtu wa mkono kama mimi, you take a lot of notes so that we can be able then to enhance and then strengthen our systems for prudent and better management of the institute. So I'll attempt to address the lawfulness issues because that is largely the basis of the qualified opinion in that sense. And I will start with the last question. I think the last observation was on the issue of issuance of supplies practitioners license. I take note that the audit report is for 2023. So they are largely historical issues. We have already shared feedback, and we appreciate the Office of the Auditor General that they're trying to put mitigating measures so that then they can be able to furnish us with the reports in good time. And I also confirm that yes, we are currently being audited. The auditors have been with us for the last 2 weeks, Mr. Abuga, and they are meant to conclude the audit next week for clarity. Now, Regarding the question on the issuance of supplies practitioners, the observation of the auditors was that the chairman of the council was signing and the chairman of the RC was signing. Three things to note. Under the SPMA, there is, under section 34, it talks about the validity of proceedings, and in that sense, the output of proceedings is the practicing license. The institute did not have a registrar. I think for some part of it, you are aware as members of KISM, and we cannot stop transacting business because we don't have a person in the office. Business has to be transacted, and the provisions of SPMA under section 34 safeguards the validity of proceedings. But fast forward in 2025, I think those of you who have renewed your licenses, you can attest to the fact that this has been mitigated. When you download your license today, it is signed by the secretary, and it is signed by the chair of the registration committee. So I confirm, and I think you can also confirm, that this was the situation maybe in 2023, but in 2025, it has been rectified. And I think also the auditors cannot.
We're raising the bar for leadership. We're raising the bar for anyone who is aspiring for office in KISM. We're raising the bar and the pedestal for us to ensure we don't accept anything less than the very best. We can do it.